let's get into a question. Let's get straight into it. Do not place a trade based on what you're seeing in this video today, because trading is risky and it can cause substantial financial loss. There are so many areas you need to become good at to become a good trader. Emotional mastery, chart reading, trading systems, money and trade management. So this video is just educational only to help you become a much better trader. Alright, so I did a video yesterday on will silver and gold crash when the stock market crashes? And I talked about how what tends to happen if a stock market crash is going to happen. Silver and gold explode to the high side, like they just absolutely just bubble. They bubble territory. If you don't know what a bubble looks like, go back to my last videos. You'll be able to see how to spot a bubble. I did that video this week as well too. So what we see here is this: will silver and gold crash when the stock market? Will silver and gold crash when the stock market crashes? And I talked about what generally happens is this. And I'm doing this on a white screen here, but let me just do this here. As the stock market crashes like this, the first sort of half of the crash, what tends to happen is silver and gold, what do? They actually, as the stock market crashing, silver and gold generally spikes. And then what happens is, this is the stock market here, stock market then goes down, and because silver and gold have bubbled so much, what we get a nice, pretty nice strong correction in silver and gold. And it's just follow along with the market as an individual markets. Don't just get into, you don't want to trade based on what you think is going to happen. Always trade that individual chart like it's an individual chart, because it's an individual chart. Does that make sense? So don't say, oh, I'm going to buy gold now because the market's going to crash and gold's going to go up. No, that is the wrong thing to do. You buy gold, or you buy silver, or you get an SLV, or you get in GLD, because not what you think is going to happen with silver and gold, but you do that based on what your system is telling you. If you're a trader and you're trying to generate an income or a profit from that trade, then you only get into that because your system, your trading plan tells you now is a good time to enter and now is a good time to exit. Don't get into silver and gold because you think the stock market's going to crash and that's going to explode silver and gold. What if it doesn't? Then what? Oh, I didn't think about that, John. You're right. What if the Fed does keep this thing up and it doesn't crash at all? In fact, what happens if the market goes up to 20,000? Somehow Janet Yellen and they print more money and suddenly they push it up to 20,000, and then they suddenly smash gold again. What happens if that happens? Now, I doubt that's going to happen, but we're going to look at the scenarios, right? So that's the first thing I want to say about silver and gold and stuff like that. Now, the question I wanted to get to in this video, is, it's a great video as always, John. The question is, does this include mining stocks? So the question here is, if silver and gold generally go up in the first, when the first sort of half of a crisis happens, does that include mining stocks as well too? And the answer to that is exactly what I said about silver and gold. Always take every single stock, not every single stock, every single mining stock, every single analysis, every single stock should be traded on its own merits, right? It should be traded on its own formations. You should only be, and Spunky Q8, listen to me please, okay? You only get into that individual stock when your analysis sets up for it to be a good trade, right? So for example, if I bring up my charts here, let me bring up my charts here as an example. And a lot of people, and I did a video just recently talked about silver and gold. So let me actually just bring up SLV here, right? And this is SLV. So a lot of people saying, oh John, SLV is very, very strong, right? SLV is looking very, very strong, which it actually is, right? If you look overall, you can see SLV's had a nice step up. So if you think silver's a good company, right? Or silver looks like silver's going to keep going up. It looks like we're having a bit of a pause here before we take out to the higher side. This is what I think anyway. That's my thoughts. We just got to wait and see what happens here, because no one's really in control in the short term. Long term, we've got a pretty big buying movement. So I think we're going to see some upward movement. But the thing is, guys, is that I did an analogy of this week on First Majestic, right? So First Majestic, but if you look at silver and gold, just because you think silver and gold is going to go up doesn't mean you just go buy a silver company because that silver company is going to go up. You trade that individual mining stock, no matter what stock it is, based on the formations, based on the charting analysis. You don't just buy it blatantly because you think silver's going to go up and therefore you think, First Majestic's going to go up, because every single stock has its own individual characteristics. Some mining stocks are going to be much better investments, and some are not, because some mining companies are going to be dud mining companies. You don't know that, right? Even if you hear it on a YouTube video. So be smart about the way that you're trading. If you look at this here, silver, right? If you look at silver since 2016, we've had 1, 2, 3 major pullbacks. Let's go have a look at First Majestic here. Since 2016, we've had one big pullback. So can you see, like, every single stock, you're looking at First Majestic here, every single stock needs to have its own merits. You don't just say, oh, John, it's a general term. That's a general term. The general term is, will mining stocks go down as that happens? You know what? And I'm probably, if I'm a betting man, I would say if you look at the whole mining sector, I would say some of the mining stocks will come down, or maybe won't perform as good, maybe even just go sideways as the stock market is crashing. And then if silver and gold is exploding, then so will other companies, but you don't know which companies that will be. So again, guys, you always want to be trading. If you're looking at the mining stocks, don't just trade. Please listen to me here, okay? I know you guys just don't listen, and I'm not saying that as a I'm so good, because I'm not. I get smacked around in the market sometimes, well too, and I'm a bit of a humble pie, right? But Justin, if you listen to this, I did a video, I think it was early this week, or maybe even last week, and I said, just because you think silver's going to go up, don't get in. You don't want to just buy something because you think you're going to make so much more money. Because people think, and one of my private clients did this, and I'm going to use you an example because it's true. If you don't like it, then it's the truth, and I want to coach you. That's the reason I'm doing this. I did a video saying, if you think silver's going to go up, don't go into NUGT and stuff like that. Because yes, it's a greater potential reward, but what about the risk? What if you're wrong? Always focus on that. What if you are wrong? What if what you thought... And guess what, guys? Even if you have a good charting palace, a good charting analysis, and good fundamental analysis, you're going to be wrong some of the time. And sometimes you're going to be in a situation where you're going to be 50-50 wrong if you're trading a directional type setup. Makes sense? So what if that trade is wrong? What is your risk to that? So many traders don't focus on that risk, and that risk wipes you out. And so, for example, one of my private clients, he actually said, "Oh, I think silver's going to go. I think silver's going to go up. So therefore, I'm going to get in First Majestic." And I asked him why. He goes, "Because First Majestic, when it goes up, First Majestic goes up a lot more. Therefore, I can make a lot more money." I said, "But what if you're wrong?" And he goes, "Oh, you're right." Because so many people, the amateur traders, just focus on the profit. Guess what Ray Dalio does? Ray Dalio, he has the biggest hedge fund of the trader. He says, I'm more worried about being wrong. And he's more worried about where he's going to get out if he's wrong than his profit. And this is what I'm starting to realize more and more and more and more with my own trading as well too. I've been doing this for 12 years now myself. And by doing this for that long, I've realized more and more and more and more as I go along in my trading career is that I'm having these small stops, but I'm having big profit targets. And this is the style of trading that I'm getting into because this is how you make good profits long term, right? So firstly, to answer your question, every single mining stock actually has its own sort of thing, right? Because let's look at this here. Let me see if I can bring up, say, Deutsche Bank here for a minute. And I want to show you guys something here, all right? So let me see if I can bring up, is there a silver? All right, here, all right? So we have a sector. Let's go silver, right? So we're going to bring up, this is the silver, and we've got 12 companies in here, right? So let's bring up this here. So this is silver here. So look at this here, right? So if you think, the mining stocks, John, the mining stocks. If silver goes up, then that stuff, and silver. If silver goes up, therefore a lot of mining stocks are going to go up. That's not true. That's not true. Look at this here. These are silver stocks, right? These are silver stocks. You've got And this is why I said before, right? If the market crashes, you're going to have some mining companies are going to go down. Some mining companies aren't. So you've got to trade the individual stocks based on those analysis only and based on a plan. Focus on having small stops and big profit targets. Then you can go wham, bam, thank you, man. Right? Again, the biggest hedge fund traders out there on the planet, they focus on small stops, bigger profit targets. We're talking that sort of stuff. But again, guys, if you're focused on the mining companies and say, does that happen with mining company? And I know I'm stressing my point and I'm repeating myself, but I'm trying to get you guys to understand that you got to trade every single stock based on its own merits. And don't just think, oh, well, the whole mining sector is going to go up because silver's going to go up. And, if silver's going to go up, surely all the mining sector is going to go up. No. Because look at this here. We had 1, 2, 3 stocks actually in the positive. One was break even. And then you had 1, 2, 3. Oh, that was obviously down 1%. So 1, 2, 3. Oh, that's not a stock. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. You had 7 stocks go negative. Like really negative. But hang on a minute. Silver's down today. Shouldn't these stocks be going down as well? And First Majestic got hit the hardest. So it's 2% here. Almost 3% on the downside. So, can you see what I'm saying here? This is what I'm talking about. Don't take a trade based on what you think is going to happen, okay? And always trade based on those own merits about what that's doing. So, if I'm looking at all the different silver stocks, and I do this for the gold stocks as well too, just look at the peaks and troughs, right? Just be really, really, really simple with that. So, what's happening here on this company here? We have a lower peak and we have a lower peak. Who's in control? Sellers, right? And unless we get a big buying movement through here and we start to get this sort of action, then why would you be buying this company? There's really no reason to get into that, right? So let's go have a look at the next stock. Is that stock there? Yeah, this is actually looks like it's not a highly traded stock. So let's go to the next stock, right? MAG. Who's in control here? Look at the peaks and troughs. Oh, okay. So what do we have here? We had a higher peak. This was a trough. This was an equal trough. We had a higher peak, lower peak. We had a higher trough, but now it's formed a lower trough. Who's in control here? Sellers, right? But if the market runs up and starts to create a higher peak, this could be buyers back in control. You just don't know that. Let's go have a look at the next stock. Who's in control here? We've got sort of equal peaks, sort of known. Again, you want to be looking at who's in control. Who's in control here? You don't really know, you know what I mean? So who's in control here? Who's in control here? And as you can see, all these different stocks look very, very different, right? They all look very different. So you've got to trade all the stocks based on their own individual merits. So when I'm answering your question here, and I hope this really helps a lot of people out, and I hope this doesn't, and there's a few things that I want you guys to understand, right? And the question here is, will mining stocks crash when the stock market crashes? That's obviously the question of this video. And the answer to that is trade each stock based on its own merits. Some will, some won't. How do you know which will and which won't? You don't know. So you don't sit on that hopomania. And how you know is are we generating low peaks, lower troughs? If that's the case, then guess what? The stock is weak. Don't get involved with that if you're trying to buy stocks. If that stock is making high peaks, high troughs, get in. But when you get in, have a small stop, have a big profit target, and let it go. Be patient with it, right? Be patient with it. And again, I go back to my SLV trade that I'm in right now myself. I've been in for quite some time, but I look at my SLV trade. You guys know that I bought options down here back in June, right? Back in June, I bought them. I'm still in them right now. And guess what? I'm at like 100 and something % profit target, but my stop was a 20% loss. I'm still in this right now because there's no need for me to get out of it. So, because I think we have a lot more upside to come as well too. So that's just what I think, guys. Well, that's what I'm seeing on the charts, and that's my plan. And I really hope this helps you out. And please, guys, I want to repeat myself here. Don't focus on how much money you can make, because that is the wrong thing to do. Focus on what is my risk. If I'm wrong on this trade, what is my risk? Because I'll say this. If you focus on the risk, as in like, where am I going to get out if I'm wrong? The profit will take care of your account. And then you're like, if you can quickly get out really quickly with a small loss, then when the profits come really, really quickly. So I'll give you an example here. I'll give you another example. Let me just scroll down here on this video here. I'll give you an example here, and I'm doing this extra video for you guys because I know that this is really gonna help you guys out. A while ago, I was trading, and I had like 5 trade losses. So the first loss was about a 10% loss. The second trade was about a 15% loss. The third trade was a 5% loss. Now this is not on per account. I was trading 5% of my account at any given one time, and this was like a 10% loss of the 5%. You know what I mean? So, and then the fourth trade was a 10% loss, and then the fifth trade here was, I don't know, it was something like a just say a 7% loss. No, let's just call it 5% loss to make it easy, right? So I was trading options, and I was very, very quick to get out when I knew I was wrong. So what do we have here? 10, 20, we have 30, we have 40, and we have say 45. Call it a 50% loss, right? It was something like that anyway, 50 to 60% loss. So I had 5 losses in a row. You think that's pretty shit, right? Well, guess what? One trade, the next trade, this 7th trade here gave me an 80% win. Guess what? I wiped away all those losses, and now I'm back in the green. Maybe just slightly positive after all the brokerage. Guess what? Guess what the A trade was? The A trade was a 60% profit. Guess what? Now I'm in the green. So I literally had, out of 8 trades, I only had 2 wins, and now I'm way in the green. That's the way you want to trade every single trade you are trading. And that's how you really get ahead in these markets. Have this sort of trading. So focus on getting out with small losses. Small loss, small loss, small loss, small loss, small loss. Because when the profits come, they really come. And then you're like, wham, bam, thank you, man. And that's how you really start to grow your account. And guys, this is so hard to really cognitively or mindset understand, but understand this one thing: you are not going to be right on every single trade, and that's just simply it, right? So really focus, and I'm being quite tough here on this recording because I really want to serve you guys and really want to help you guys out. Focus on taking those small losses, because even the best of the best setups will not work. So get out with those small losses, get out with those small losses, get out with those small losses. And when the wins come, guess what? Your account just goes up and up and up and up and up. And if you can have that mentality throughout the year, your account's going to be going up. It's just a mathematical certainty. So, and that's where that trade management, that's the reason why I had the disclaimer at the start of this video. Because no matter how good this one position is, it's not that one trade that's going to make you successful. It's the basket of trades. And it's not the basket of trades, it's how you have your money management. And more importantly, how do you have your trade management? That's the reason why I say that in the disclaimer of every single video, because it's true. Not one trade, not one scenario is going to make you very wealthy. Now, every now and then, you're going to have a really big win. Like I believe silver and the VIX and stuff like that. And, you know, they're once in a lifetime opportunities. But how are you going to move forward after those big trades? If you have a real big win, how are you going to keep moving forward? Have this as a foundation to your overall trading plan, no matter what system you're trading, and that's how you move forward in a big way. Make sense? So I hope this really makes sense to you guys. You know, silver and gold may not go up. It may go down because it's really in an indecision time right now, and I think it's going to go up soon because something big's about to hit the market in October. I think the stock market's going to pull down quite quickly. It may go through a crash. I'm not sure. But to answer your question, and I should say, I hope this helped you out. Not only, will the mining stocks crash if the stock market crashes, but really important trading rules to help you move forward, not just now, through the rest of your career. Apply what I said in this video and you will see prosperous trading. If you want to be part of the 90+% who doesn't make money, then don't listen to this video. Few things that I want to tell you in this video. Don't just trade based on what you think. Like, for example, my coaching client, Justin, he thought silver was going to go up, so he went and bought First Majestic. No, there was nothing on First Majestic to say it was going to go up. So only trade that chart, or only trade that stock based on what you're seeing on the chart. Peaks and troughs, look at the support resistance, those sort of stuff, right? Only trade based on that, but again, have a trading plan. The second thing I want to say is that when you get into there, make sure that you know that if you are wrong, that's not going to hurt your account too much. You're going to get with small losses, and boom, one good profit you can be up again. Okay, and all the other stuff I've said in this video, I've just gone on a bit of a tangent, but I really want to help you guys out. Anyway, guys, have an amazing weekend. Remember, success can be yours if you go claim it. So step up, take massive action, and face your fears. I'm not going to BS you here. Trading is hard. Over my 10 years of trading, I've learned some amazing systems and strategies, and I've put it all in my brand new Grab the Markets by the Balls course, and I'm giving you 100% free access. This whole course is 12 videos long and almost 10 hours of the best systems and strategies that I know. Click on the image below now to get 100% free access right now.